Hey everybody, it's Chadwick. I just wanted to give you a quick update on where we stand in the markets right now and the game plan for us going forward. To oversimplify this dramatically, we've basically had extreme volatility in all the financial markets since March the 2nd. And this is probably the most extreme level of volatility we've had in the history, going back to the famed stock market crashes in the Depression era. But basically, treasuries, which are T-bills, and the stocks in the stock market have declined so rapidly, and the indexes have declined so rapidly that mortgage bonds have been unable to catch up with that severe decline, meaning that rates are higher now than they should be in relationship to everything else. The decline has just moved too fast in order for the correct pricing to be reflected in all the rate sheets. For example, the mortgage market usually trades 3 or 4 point moves in a day. Sometimes it's completely flat. So anytime we have a move that's around 20 points or so, that's very significant. Now, what we've seen in the past couple of weeks, we're seeing hundreds of point moves in a day. And not only that, but the spread between the high of the day and the low of the day has been several hundred points in some situations. And I can't stress enough how huge that is. And when you have swings that big, the interest rate changes up and down, the pricing changes up and down multiple times during the day. That not only makes it very hard to lock an interest rate, but it makes it very hard for the lenders to give an appropriate rate based on everything else in the market because it's moving just too fast. That's, like I said, a gross oversimplification, but still, that's where we are. There are countless other factors that are playing into this. There's margin calls that are an issue. We have capacity issues, unemployment fears. You heard Secretary Mnuchin say that he thinks unemployment could be top 20%. So, of course, that has rattled the markets quite a bit. Can people pay for their mortgages if they get them? You know, the housing data that's projected, quantitative easing that is going on by the Fed now, and, of course, the market's getting flooded with new debt from this proposed stimulus package. So each one of those has played a huge part in this black swan event that we're having right now. And if you don't know what a black swan event is, watch my next video because I'll explain that in detail. But the good news is that the Federal Reserve has finally stepped in and they've done multiple things to rectify this situation, and the mortgage market's finally responding. They've done things over this last week, small steps here and there, but each one was not enough. Now they finally have jumped all in, and the mortgage market's finally starting to respond to this. And in fact, we're starting to get close to the levels of where we need to be for the majority of you that are wanting to do that refinance and have the loan locked in where you want. So the good news is just sit tight. We're almost there. The fact that your loan is already in process and has already been disclosed, or it's in the process of being disclosed right now, means you're way ahead of the game of everyone else, because the rate is going to be there soon, and once it is, we can lock the rate. The fact of you being disclosed gives you the ability to lock with some confidence, whereas when the rate gets where it needs to be for everyone else, they're going to rush and flood everything again, and we're going to be back to the same problem. So you're doing great where you're at. Just make sure that you don't take out any new debts. You don't miss any payments. Keep making your payments on time. We don't want to have to rescore the credit. And also don't let anyone else check your credit. Credit inquiries are a big problem. It's hard to prove a negative, and that's what a credit inquiry does. Even if they offer you a discount or something, don't do it. If you need to do any of those things, talk to me and we'll make a game plan. And finally, just don't be greedy. I know that sounds awful, but I've just got to be honest to say it. We're at a point right now where we're at the lowest rates in the history of the country for mortgages. So none of us know where the absolute bottom is. We think that we're very, very close to the absolute bottom, if not there already, but we can't be sure. So what happens a lot of times is people keep waiting. Oh, it's going to get better. Oh, it's going to get better. Oh, it's going to get better. And it never does. And they miss an opportunity. So even if we're not at the lowest rates in the history of man now, and the rate goes down another 1/8 or 1/4%, and that's the lowest rate in the history of the world, you missed it by 1/8%. So what? I mean, celebrate the rate that you have. that rate will still be something that you probably will never again see in your entire lifetime. So the risk does not outweigh the reward at this point. The reward could possibly be, oh, I'm going to save an extra $7 a month or $13 a month. But the risk is the rates go back up and never get to this level again, and you can't refinance. So don't be greedy. The upside is, even if we miss it by a few points here in the short term, if they plunge dramatically in the future, we'll just refi again at little or no cost. So basically, you lose nothing. Well, I just wanted to give you that quick update. I kept this video short because I know a lot of you are busy, and the rest of you have short attention spans, much like I do, so you don't want to sit through a long video. But I am making a video that explains everything that's happened in incredible depth. I've already written that out. I'm going to record it right after this. It's going to be probably about 25 minutes. But if you can sit through that, maybe even play it on 1.5 speed if you need to, it will tell you where we are, where we started, and how we got there. And it's very fascinating. It basically will give you education on mortgages, the stock market, bonds, the Federal Reserve, everything in a very short period of time, and you'll know more than 99% of the population about these things. So I encourage you to watch that. So if you want the link to that video, just put in the comments, tell me more, and I'll send it to you. Again, I'm going to take a lot of very deep financial concepts and put it into layman's terms, and I highly suggest you watch it. I think you'll find it quite interesting. Just put tell me more in the comments. And if you're a customer of mine, how about customer of mine, then sit tight. We got you taken care of. If you're not a customer or you're a real estate agent that stumbled into this video somehow, then, put in there, tell me more, Chad, in the comments, and I'll be glad to help you or help advise you or your customers. And we'll get through this. It's tough right now. It sucks. It looks bad, but your patience is going to be handsomely rewarded. I can promise you that. So like this video, forward it, share it, please. We need this information out there so people stop panicking. We're going to get through it. It's going to be awesome. I promise. And I never break a promise. Pinky swear. So we're doing a social distance pinky swear here. All right. Well, you guys take care. Stay safe out there. And anything you need, you contact me anytime. My contact info is at the end of this video for those of you who don't have it. Again, be good. Be kind to each other. Don't hoard toilet paper. And let's get you the lowest rates ever, all right? Talk to you soon. Bye.